Good day to everyone. First things first, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Carl Sepred Sumbol, a BTLED second year student from SNSU Mainit campus. So at this time, I'm the last reporter of hearing impairment topic. So I'm gonna be discuss and present to you the teaching approaches of hearing impairment. But before we jump into our topic, let me ask a question. What are the possible approaches that we're going to be discussed right now? Anyone? Any idea?
Sir.
Yes, mister, you are recognized.
Thank you, sir. For me, sir, sign language approach. Because as what I've observed in our town, there are many deaf person learning sign language to communicate other people. And I think it would relate to our topic.
Yes, very good. So the first teaching approaches of hearing impairment will be the oral approach. The oral approach to deaf education excludes sign language and focuses on developing receptive, hearing, and expressive or spoken language skills using auditory oral techniques. It relies on utilizing any remaining hearing with hearing aids or cochlear implants to help children learn to speak clearly. So why did they exclude sign language? It's very simple. So the deaf education found out that sign language is not enough to teach the deaf community, while they focus on receptive, means hearing, and expressive for spoken language skills using auditory oral techniques. So what is this auditory oral techniques? So auditory oral techniques focusing on speech reading, and residual hearing, often using assistive listening devices. So like hearing aids or cochlear implants. So these devices can help students or the learners that have difficulty of hearing to develop their spoken language. They can understand kung ano yung sinasabi and ma-develop yung communication skills nila. This approach requires significant effort from teachers, parents, and students. Yes, exactly, especially teachers and parents, because they are the one who nurture and care their child and students. So while applying this approach, it requires significant effort, no? So especially when you have conducted a speech reading, ginapabasa-basa nimo isa ka bata, so it needs a significant effort, like imo siya i-guide, like guiding, like unsa pa kanang bigyan nimo ng time para sa to develop her hearing and spoken language skills. So another here is involved diri ang students. So I have an idea for the students. So the students in applying this approach, it requires significant effort for students. So for me, it's kind of buddy system. When we say buddy system, it is a friendship between the person that have a hearing impairment and a normal one. So a normal one will be the one who will requires a significant effort, like guiding his friend, bonding together, like reading or listening music, and also encouraging his friends. Yes, encouraging his friends that they nai-hope siya para maka-learn, nai-hope na ma-develop ang iyang skills, especially hearing and spoken. So that is the idea. So for me, that's it. So methods include auditory training, speech reading, cued speech. Cued speech is that like mga sign language. So we're gonna be discuss this one later on. So use of technological aids and emphasizing verbal communication through auditory, visual, and tactile inputs. We have here example of cued speech. So take a look at that one, the right side of yours. So cued speech, a system using hand shapes to supplement spoken language to make sound visible. So amo na siya ang function ng cued speech. And take note, it is one of the teaching approaches of hearing impairment. The next one is the total communication or simultaneous communication. Total communication is an educational philosophy and method that uses a variety of communication modes, combining spoken English with manual communication like signing and finger spelling. This flexible approach adapts to each deaf child's needs, using sign language, spoken language, auditory perception, gestures, facial expressions, and lip reading to support language acquisition. The goal is to help children develop strong communication skills by using all available tools. So, basically, total communication approach, it is a combination of various methods such as sign language, English spoken or manual communication, gestures, facial expressions, and all visual cues to accommodate different communication needs. So the next one is bicultural bilingual approach. So to be easily understand, this approach teaches both a natural sign language and the spoken written language of the community. And as you can see in the presentation, it consists of three key elements according to Schirmer 2001. First one is ASL, American Sign Language, is regarded as the principal language, whereas English is regarded as the subordinate language. Now, if you wonder why English is the subordinate language lang, take note. This kind of approach is applicable for hearing impairment. So, amo na siyang subordinate lang ang English, while the ASL is the principal language of the deaf community. So, the second, individuals who are hearing impaired play a significant part in the advancement of the program and its educational framework. And the third one, the program incorporates education on deaf culture. For our next slides, as you can see, we have different kinds of sign using our finger that have different meaning. So, including there the letter of the alphabet and number 1 to 10.
We have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. And then for J, it's the same formation as I, but you will draw like a J. J or J, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And for the end, you just like for the numbers, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
That are some of the example of sign using your fingers from 1 to 10 and A to Z and N. So for our last slides, accommodations. Consider the following accommodations for use in instruction with students who has hearing impairment. When giving verbal instruction to students, make sure that you are facing them, as others may try to lip read what you are saying. So no, if you're giving verbal instructions to your students, especially if there is learners that have hearing impairment, so you must facing them. Dili ka pwede magtagilid while giving the instruction, or else dili nila masabtan una yung gisabot or ma-misinterpret nila kung una yung gihatag na instruction. So that's why you need to face them, or else you can also apply the sitting arrangement of your classroom. Like, magkuhaan ka ng U na shape, or nga na, U style ang chairs nila. Then, para dira ka sa center, mas makita nila even kung asa ka na angle, kung uni mo gisorte. So, the first bullet we have here, when giving verbal instruction to students, make sure that you are facing them as others may try to read what you are saying. So, as what I've said kanina, nga to. So, it would be beneficial for them if the teacher would write or post the instruction on the board. Yes, para dili nila medyo nagkalibog sila, mas gana kung imo gyud isulat sa board. So for the third, teachers must speak clearly and use simple words without exaggeration. Like for example, student, please get one whole sheet of paper, then number it 1 to 10. That would be the example when teachers speak clearly and giving instruction to the students. So the fourth, develop a signal system for the class. Example, the use of sign language when going to the restroom, or raising 2 fingers for those who would like to ask a question. Fifth, voice modulation will be useful for them, but the use of audio amplification devices for the class instruction would be even better. Yes. Then the sixth one is the adaptation of visual cues, pictures, supported text, written notes, outlines, and diagrams help the student to visualize and comprehend the topic. Then next, peers learners with hearing impairment with hearing learners for peer tutoring. The next one, use caption version for stream, video film, or provide a printed copy of the material. Then the last one, write important information on the bulletin boards, keep the reminders readable and direct. And that is the end of my presentation. Again, I'm Carl Sipret Sumbol saying, when we communicate, we're not just speaking words, we're sharing humanity. By learning to communicate with those who are deaf or hard of hearing, we must open doors to a new relationships, understanding, and empathy. Let's embrace inclusive teaching approaches that empower everyone to thrive.